What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review, the Fallout show from Hard to Kill last Saturday. A lot going on at pay-per-view from a few days ago, and if you want to go check out my thoughts on that pay-per-view, go check out my review of Hard to Kill. It is uploaded online right now. A lot to say about, especially the main event from last Saturday. But now we've reached the Fallout show. After Hard to Kill. I will say this right now, too. I don't know when this is going to be uploaded. I'm having some internet problems, but that's not going to stop me from still recording and reviewing this video. So I hopefully, and I mean hopefully sometime tomorrow, that this will be uploaded online, whenever, okay? Just got some internet problems right now. But what does the Fallout show really have going on after Hard to Kill? Before the show even kicked off, they did have, from last Saturday, Omega and the Good Brothers and Don Callis celebrating, but Don Callis had some words to say. Basically, listen, we're going to celebrate outside of Skyway Studios, and we're going to be back soon. Kenny will be back. But right now, he's got to go take care of some business on Dynamite, okay? But for the time being right now, he's just going to we're just gonna just wait and see on it. The invisible hand knows all and whatnot, so just wait. That's all you got to do. But as the show kicked off, it is still a breath of fresh air to hear a new commentary team of both Matt Stryker and D'Lo Brown. As we did kick it off with Violent by Design, Eric Young, who went against Rhino, his cousin Jake was out there with him. A good match, I should say, not bad. It ended up with Eric Young putting in a heel hook onto Rhino to make him tap out for the win. He did not let go of his leg, still holding it and whatnot, as Diener and Joe Doran got in and started beating him up. Jake came in for the save then and whatnot. Basically, kind of knocking Violent by Design back. So, but like I said, I like this new group. I like I don't know, something about Eric Young in this new group is pretty good. I will give them that. They're really trying to get this over, especially, Diener, the new disciple and whatnot. But I am enjoying what I see right here. The match wasn't really that bad, also, okay? But as the show went on, we then got to, I guess, video from Saturday with Rich Swann and Moose, as Moose basically beat up Swann since the whole truce is pretty much over at this point in time. They try to ask some questions and whatnot. Moose ended up throwing him to the door and says, "All right, I team with you. Now I want my world title shot, okay?" AC Romero, I'm sick of this who shot Johnny Bravo thing. They have the real culprit, which I'm going to get into that in a second because of some things to say about that. But next, Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, the Good Brothers came out talking about how they wanted Hard to Kill. They are the champions. They came out 1, 2, 3, Magic Killer and whatnot. But next, Chris Sabin came out basically saying that, now that you had your little fun with the belts and want to go party and whatnot, I want my rematch. The Guns still want their rematch. But Gal said Sabin's not here. And yes, I said Sabin's not here. I mean, Alex Shelley is not here. But Chris Sabin said he does have a tag partner who can help him out, that knows all about tag team wrestling. Who is it? Who is it? The last person he picked before, if I remember, not that long ago. Cowboy James Storm. We haven't really seen him in a while. Well, not that long. It was a Final Resolution. He was on that last pay-per-view. I didn't know if James Storm was even going to be back in that. I just thought that was kind of like a 1 or 2 off he was doing. But James Storm is back again, folks. And I guess he wants the tag team titles. That he is the mother effing Cowboy James Storm. And I know all about tag team wrestling and whatnot. And, he did his whole shtick. But then next thing you know, we got the return. Someone who has not been in Impact Ring in almost 3-4 years now, Matt Hardy. And that's Big Money Matt, okay? Big Money Matt Hardy and Private Party from AEW. So, yes, we got more AEW people showing up on Impact. Matt Hardy came out then basically introducing Private Party. And, we got a big match tomorrow night on Dynamite and whatnot. And, he's putting over TNT and everything. But James Storm pretty much cut him off. So, listen, I don't know what your business is, but this is between us, okay? But Matt Hardy says, I carried Impact Wrestling a few years ago the last time I was here, which is true. When he was broken, Matt Hardy, he was carrying this thing. That's why people started paying attention to Impact again, which I would say Big Money Matt was still really good, too. I did enjoy that also. I know it was in Ring of Honor, but I liked it more in Impact. Maybe because I knew more about Big Money Matt Hardy. But Matt Hardy did have a fact there. Yes, when he was broken, people were paying attention to them again. But Matt Hardy said, we want a tag title match against the Good Brothers. And he even says him and me and my brother Jeff, which is true. They never did lose those titles. Okay, if you remember, we lost in some stupid teleportation angle. Yes, and I remember that a few years ago when the whole contract thing was going on with Matt and Jeff. Basically, the broken universe was kind of ended. They teleported, and then the tag team titles ended up in Decay's hands, and that was the last time we saw Matt and Jeff in Impact or TNA Wrestling at the time. But Gal says, how about this? Private Party versus Storm and Sabin. Whoever wins will get a title shot, which Matt Hardy accepted. So, yeah, I am very surprised that Matt Hardy is back in an Impact ring. Given what happened a few years ago in the whole legal battle over the whole broken gimmick. And yes, Impact and Anthem, I should say, and Matt Hardy did have some bad blood, but they made up a long time ago. Now for Jeff Jarrett, the snake oil salesman that he is, I don't think they ever were cool again after that with Matt Hardy and Anthem. But I do remember they did hash things out, and everything did turn out well. But yeah, I never even really thought Matt Hardy would be back in a Impact Wrestling ring again and whatnot. That's what happened a few years ago. Jim Miller interviewed. It's Matt Cardona. It's Matt Cardona. Zack Ryder. But yeah, Matt Cardona though. Basically, he's busted his ass for all these opportunities. He's not gonna let it go again. So, he said that the fans have faith in him. I never get a chance to mention about the fans or crowd noise they finally added to the show since they did on the pay-per-view last Saturday. It's not bad. I don't know if there's real people out there now, but at least they're trying to add some type of atmosphere. Because either that'll actually put the wrestlers as fans out there, but I guess they made it as fans you can't see or something. Or it's some type of crowd noise they're doing. So I didn't really notice that until now. I meant to say it on Saturday, but I didn't really get a chance to get into that though. Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz in the back talking about how they, still won the titles and everything. Tenille, we're telling Teal Nash and Caleb Conlon we the champs and whatnot. They didn't run into Johnny Swinger saying you still got that money. Yeah, we want the money back. Followed by said that you took the money and then Brian Myers challenged him to a match. Yeah, we're still doing this stupid wad of cash shit. Don't know where that's going. Kimberly and Susan, or Sue Young, or yes, businesswoman Sue Young, versus Jordan Grace and Jazz. I'm surprised Jazz is still here, to be honest. I didn't. I thought she was actually done, but she's still going, which Jazz can still somewhat go in a way. This tag match wasn't bad. Of course, Deonna Purrazzo got involved and hit Jazz with the title belt, which gave Susan the win right there, since she just dressed in a whole business suit to wrestle. Don't really know how that was really working, but yeah, she wrestled in a whole business suit. And I guess they're trying to get some credible wins to Susan and whatnot. So, Jazz had it out here giving Deonna got involved, so don't know where that's really going to go into next. This is, I guess we should say right now, the final time you will see Taya Valkyrie in Impact Wrestling. When they asked her about, what's next for her and everything, since she lost to Deonna, she was about to tell she was doing, but Johnny Bravo came in saying this is your fault. You did the whole spray thing. You committed this crime, as Larry D. They find out, and basically Taya said, listen, it would have been better if you were dead. I tried to help Rosemary and save her from you. Next thing you know, the security police drug Taya away, and then Tommy Dreamer said, she could end up in state in Jacksonville, or she ended up in Stamford, Connecticut, doing like a 2-year prison sentence with a 3-year in the contract and whatnot. So yeah, it's either WWE or AEW for Taya at this point. So it could be Baltimore. But before they threw Taya out, Rosemary tried to stop her. Said, "Why did you do this?" Rosemary tried to save you and everything. Grace moment in her time and Impact was having her in her corner. But before they threw her out, Rosemary gave Taya one last hug before they threw Taya out the building. Crazy Steve came up to Rosemary, said, "This is why we don't have friends." Okay, so number one, I'm sick of the Johnny Bravo thing and whatnot. So I don't know why hopefully that's the end of that too. But the Taya thing, listen, I've heard some rumors about Taya most likely leaving after Hard to Kill, since her contract was back up in December. So I believe this may have been the final time she was on Impact and written off, since they took her to jail, which now she will either most likely end up at AEW or WWE. Honestly, if I had to take a choice, I think she's going to end up in WWE. Given that her husband, John Morrison, is over there, I could see her going over there with them. But I will say this about Taya's run in Impact. Taya had a great run in Impact. Okay, for the past 3-4 years, you've seen her since back on what 2017, if I'm not mistaken. She debuted. Taya has been like a very focal part of the Knockouts division, the longest reigning Knockouts champion. One of who carried the division also and put on a lot of great matches. Even though I think her before she left, I didn't really like a lot of comedy segments she was doing after she lost the belt and whatnot. But it looked like they were kind of coming back to the old Taya, even with Rosemary there too. But I think, like I said, this was the final time, and that was like her final match. Impact was at the pay per view. And I guess Rosemary and Crazy Steve they will go back to being Decay, which is good and whatnot. But yeah, I think this was the final appearance we saw of Taya in Impact, and all you can really do right now is either WWE or AEW. So we'll see where Taya goes. But like I said before, if I had to bet, it's gonna be WWE. Tony Schiavone, I guess, was in the control room. Talk about the paid advertising for Tony Khan, which Tony Khan did show up. Talking about, we let Matt Hardy here, which he had Jerry Lynn with him for some reason, too. And, that, Matt Hardy's the biggest carny in wrestling. He's all, he's selfish and whatnot, this whole big money Matt. But I'm not. Okay, I'm not the biggest carny and whatnot. Next thing you know, I guess he's at Skyway Studios. So, I'm going to pay for this one and next week's ads. Okay, I pay an Impact right here. So he continues to take shots at them. But Tony Khan is actually in the building of this show tonight. Rich Swann came out talking about what happened last Saturday. They worked hard, him, Moose, and Chris Sabin and everything, to defend the honor of Impact Wrestling and whatnot. But he's been sick of Moose, what he's been doing to him and Willie Mack. But since Kenny Omega isn't here right now, his schedule's open, and he wanted Moose to come out. Moose said, hey, man, we'll set things when I get that Impact title, okay? But Swann says, this is what you want, right? That's what the thing. I'm here to give you a title shot, all right? You can beat the match right now, but, title could still be on the line. Moose said that don't work for him like that. We'll do it on my time. And, Swann said, I'm not here to talk. He ended up punching Moose, pretty much taking him down. Moose had tried to get him, but Swann kept dodging several times, even hitting a Phoenix Splash on him before getting him out of the ring, holding both the titles up, okay? So, obviously, that match is going to be happening in the future sooner or later between Rich Swann and Moose. But a good segment, though. Rohit Raju was talking to Scott D'Amore back on his title rematch against Manic, which was TJP this time, and he says, all right, I want a match next week, let's do it. Which they forgot to mention it was non-title, but they even say he'll probably won't remember anyways, it was non-title, okay? Carol and Tasha Steelz were in the back, still trying to get somebody to MC, still bragging about what's going on, even getting the referee to be an MC and whatnot. But as they kept bragging and gloating, next thing you know, Havoc and Nevaeh showed up. It's all right, we see you, man. Fire and Flavor out, okay? Fire and Flavor out here. We ain't got to deal with y'all. We beat y'all, all right? Brian Myers went against Fallah Bahh. Not much to say here. Fallah Bahh won to continue to give Brian Myers more wins, making him look very credible. I'll say that. Brian Myers, I don't know where it's going, but they're giving him more and more wins. So I think it's leading into something here, folks. Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, we're talking about what happened to Hard to Kill last Saturday. I was looking forward to the show until Matt Cardona came out. Basically talking about that's why you were catering. Nobody wants to see you wrestle and whatnot. That's why you're on TV. Josh Alexander basically came in and you'll see this top prospect, right? Let me give you some advice, all right? But next thing you know, Austin up talking to him like, I don't got to deal with this, and Fulton grabbed from behind, and they started attacking Josh Alexander, but Matt Cardona came for the save as him and Alexander stood tall, basically in a tag match against next week against Ace Austin and Fulton, okay? But next, Eddie Edwards again checked about the doctor backstage after the whole barbed wire massacre. Matt Striker trying to get the dial away from him and focus on him. But basically, it's going to be challenged to a match. I think y'all know where it's going to go. So, yeah, Eddie versus Brian Myers next week, folks. But as we get into the main event, Big Money Matt himself, Matt Hardy, and Private Party winning against Chris Sabin and James Storm. Tony Khan ended up showing up out there with Jerry Lynn sitting by stage watching the match. This was a very good match, even a bit different one from the regular Private Party high flying all over the place stuff. Actually better this time, okay? I don't know why. Just a better match between Sabin and Storm and whatnot. Now, yes, Sabin like he was trying to go for the win, But Jerry Lynn got involved, knocking him off the top rope. Tony Khan sent them in, which basically Private Party hit the gin and juice for the win, as now they are the number one contenders to face Gallows and Anderson for the tag titles, which they came out, held the belt up with Storm and Sabin up attacking in. Everybody started brawling with each other in the ring as the show went off the air. Okay, so interesting, very, very interesting that Private Party is now here in Impact, now getting a title shot for the tag belts. You know, I still don't know where this is going to keep going with Tony Khan. No, let me say that. I still think he's trying to be some type of a heel on here right now, which he is doing by burying Impact almost every week on this show. So now I'm still calling him Jacksonville Dixie in a way. And I know some people would compare to Dixie Carter, him being a money mark, but I don't know about him still trying to be like a heel manager. Basically, I'm from AEW. I'm going to keep trying to shun everybody from Impact and then help all my guys win. So I don't know what's going on with that or where this is going with Tony Khan and him being a heel. I'm surprised he was actually on the show itself this time out there, okay? But we will see where this thing is going to go now, since we saw people like Matt Hardy and Private Party and Tony Schiavone and Jerry Lynn on TV tonight. Very, very interesting night for Impact, okay? But a very solid and good show, too, which was very enjoyable. But, yeah, like I said, it's really good. Good follow from Hard to Kill and everything. I mostly liked everything on this show. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Taya thing, but given that she's been written out, I guess that was the way to take her off of TV, and that's why we won't never see her again after this. So, like I said, I already told you where I think she may be going, so you can be the answer to that. But yeah, that's my review of Raw tonight, folks. Tell me what you think about the show. Good, bad, did it suck? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I don't know. You tell me what do you think about this show, if it was bad or good. So, yeah, that's my review of Impact. I'm out here. Hopefully we get this uploaded by sometime tomorrow. Like I say, internet problems going on some bullshit, okay? But other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.